Greetings, G-Man faithful. This is your Commander-in-Chief, G-Man, reporting to you live from G-Man Live Weekly. Now, as I said before, that I would hook all my viewers up with a 2016 college quarterback prospects video, and that is this. So, now, let me just rattle off a couple of names here. Since there's some teams on the bye week, so just to give you guys a little content, it's Wednesday, so football not, tomorrow night, but then not for a couple of days. So, while we're sitting here just kind of, kicking it, let's break it down. So, I'm going to list several quarterbacks, and then we'll go into a little bit of detail of each, but these are like your main quarterbacks in the college ranks. These are your guys that you're probably going to hear about in drafts and draft order and stuff like that. So, without further ado, let's get to the show. Here we go. All right. Now, Cody Kessler, USC. Paxton Lynch, Memphis. Zach Prescott, Mississippi. Connor Cook from the Big Ten, Michigan State. Goff from Cal. Hackenberg from PSU. And Brissett from North Carolina State, along with Boykin from TCU. Now, that is about 8 or 9 quarterbacks that, we can break it down with, figure out what their skill sets are, and where they might go in the draft. Now, one thing I'll say is this. Start off with Hackenberg. Hackenberg, some people love him, other people hate him. I'm kind of like, the dude don't move, but he has a really good completion percentage. He does complete a lot of his passes. He does need an offensive line. This is not a mobile quarterback. So if you draft him, you better have your line set, which would mean, if you're the Giants, if you're the Jets, could be a little tough. The Jets probably a better spot for Hackenberg than the Giants. If you're the Cowboys, this is actually, this could be your pick, because he can definitely stand behind that line and throw. If he's given time, he can throw. He's got a good arm. He's big, 6'4". I think he's like 230. So the dude he's got some size. No mobility, but, he's a typical pocket passer. So he could go to a team with a good offensive line. If you're the Eagles, not so much. This is like Nick Foles watered down 2.0. Now, the next name that I think is interesting is Cody Kessler. Now, Cody Kessler had a little bit of a rough start to the season. By the way, I know there's a couple guys out there that have talked to me about this video, wanted me to include Rosen from UCLA. I'm not going to bring him in because he doesn't have a chance to come out. I don't think he's coming in. He's a rookie, and he's not a redshirt rookie, so I don't think he's coming out. I think he's going to be there. In a couple years, we'll have a talk about him because that dude can ball. But back to the show. And by the way, just shout out to my boy Craig. Craig, this is for you. You are definitely up on your college ball. So kudos, because college ball is where it's at. Yup, it might even be better than the NFL. If any of you all saw that Miami game last week, you don't see that shit in the NFL. Anyway, so Cody Kessler's good. He can throw. He's somewhat accurate. He's got good accuracy. He's not. He's prone to turnovers, so that's like something you got to watch. This is not a guy that's gonna run great in the 40. When they do their little combine stuff. But I think he's actually a quality quarterback. So this would be a guy that I would say, around the league. I look around the league and I see teams that need quarterbacks, which it's almost like everyone. This is a guy that possibly the Eagles go after, definitely the Cowboys go after, because Romo's done. Look, you got back problems, you got collarbone problems, you had surgery on your back twice, surgery on your collarbone twice. Look, dude's old, man. He's like 36, 37. So there's no young Romos anymore, right? He's old. I would give Cody Kessler some high marks. I think that he would be a second round pick, maybe third round pick. Paxton Lynch from Memphis. I think this guy can ball. A lot of people don't know him because he's in Memphis, and people are like, well, what do we know? Yeah, he can play. Cody Kessler or Paxton Lynch, he has some mobility when he needs it. I think he's very accurate. Good pocket presence. I saw him on a Thursday night a couple weeks back, and he just was balling. So yeah, I mean he's taken on some decent teams. He's done really well, and I don't think he's the kind of guy that's like calm and collected in bigger games. I think that's actually a good trait for a quarterback to have. So yeah, Paxton Lynch definitely ranks high up there. I think that's also like a second, third round pick. Someone wants to reach, they might reach for first with him, but probably second. Zach Prescott. Now, this is the guy who I think has the best arm out of this crew, and he's built like a tank. He's mobile too. I mean, but he's more of a stay-at-home quarterback, throw from the pocket. But he is mobile a little bit because he's a big guy. Can he run a read option? Maybe. I mean, he's like Russell Wilson light. You know what I mean? He has that kind of thing because he's not as prolific in the read option, but can he do it? Yeah, he's athletic. He can do it. So I think Zach Prescott can be one of the higher picks. He's got a good arm. I got to see his accuracy, though. I got to see him be a little bit more accurate. But I think people will reach for him because number one, he's in a great conference. He plays the best teams, and he does pretty well. And he's a good quarterback. He has good numbers, good pocket presence, hell of an arm. So yeah, I think that's for those reasons. I think that's why they'll look at him. Now, my standout in this is Goff from Cal. Now, I don't want to disappoint my boy Craig because we were talking. I don't think he's Rodgers 2.0. I can see why you say that. He's got the mobility. He can throw. He's accurate. I got that. I just don't know if he's as prolific as Rodgers. Like Rodgers in college was great. Rodgers in the pros, great. Goff is just like one little tiny notch, like right there below Aaron Rodgers. And I don't know if he's Rodgers 2.0. I think that he possibly in the right situation could develop, maybe be that, but I'm not ready to anoint him. I mean, Rodgers could be like the second best quarterback in the NFL right now. So that's a lot. That's a heavy burden to live up to. But he's got all the intangibles. So, Pac-12 guy, playing great teams, a lot of offense out there in the Pac-12. So yeah, I think the guy can ball, and I would take him on my team any day. Having said that, he got roasted by UCLA, and he had a couple picks. I'm not exactly sure if that was because UCLA schemed really well against him. I'm not sure what that was, but it was a great duel between Rosen and Goff, and I would love to see that for like another year, but I think Goff comes out. So, and Rosen does. But, yeah, Goff would be one of my higher ones. Now, there's two other guys I want to get to because these guys do run and can run and will most likely run the read option when they get into the NFL. Now, if you need a guy that is a read option quarterback that can get out, a.k.a. San Francisco, Philadelphia, these might be your guys. Now, first, let's tackle Boykin from TCU. This guy doesn't get any love at all because he's from TCU. When the rankings came out the other day, it was Clemson 1, it was the LSU Tigers 2, it was Ohio State 3, Cardell Jones, by the way, not a big fan, so that's why he's on this list. I think he had a couple good games last year. That's it. And then 4 was Bama. Now, TCU gets no love, and I don't know why, because the Horned Frogs can ball, and this quarterback is good. This guy can light it up. He puts up tons of points every week. I don't know why he doesn't get any love. He's got the intangibles. He can move. He can stay in the pocket. He can throw. He can do all those things. So I'm not exactly sure why he doesn't get any love, but I'm going to say that if you're a team that's like, hey, we need a little bit more mobility at quarterback, this could be your guy. And I also think that his accuracy is fine and it translates into the NFL. So I like him. And Brissett is he's like the sleeper because this guy this is a North Carolina State guy who is playing in the ACC, doesn't really get much attention, kind of like Paxton Lynch, except Brissett is a guy that can do the read option. He can run, he can throw. Doesn't put up great numbers when he throws, but he gets the job done overall. I mean, because he can get outside, he can run, he can do the read option. So he has both sides of the coin. Decent pocket presence. Sometimes he screws up. He does take a couple sacks. But I liked him in the last couple of games that I've seen him play, and I think that this is a guy who was going to go to Florida, transferred out because he wanted to start, so he went to North Carolina State, and I think that actually is going to help him because he's going to get a chance. He is the guy at NC State. Unfortunately, NC State's not a premier team, so that hurts him a little bit. So he's kind of, in that middle range. I don't think if this would be like a second, third, round pick type of a player, probably third. Now, I'm going to go through these guys and say which rounds I think that they're going to be in. I think Cody Kessler, second round, definitely. Someone could reach for him in the first. I think Lynch, second, maybe third. That's probably, I think, where he falls. Prescott, second, maybe third. I think that's where he falls. Connor Cook is my last one. Connor Cook, I think, is a Michigan State quarterback that does what Michigan State quarterbacks do. Like the what's his face from Washington. His name is escaping me, but the quarterback for the Redskins is a product of Michigan State, and Hoyer is Michigan State. They're all the same exact quarterback. Pocket guys, good down the field, decent ability, good arms, and their accuracy is actually pretty good. Good completion percentage. They're all kind of the same, like going back over, decades. He could be a late first round pick, early second round pick. Someone could reach for him because of that pedigree. Goff, I think, is a first round pick. I think someone's going to take him in the first. Hackenberg, I think, is also going to be a first round pick. I don't know why, because I'm not a big fan of him, but Hackenberg, I think, first round pick. Brissett, probably second, maybe third, but whoever does, I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. I think he's actually going to be pretty good. And then Boykin, also second, third round pick. So a lot of these guys, second, third round picks. Don't be surprised if they go in the third. Don't be surprised if they go in the second. It could be a little bit of a reach into the second, and then one or two guys will reach into the first. But I think that's generally where they fall. So that is your quarterback segment for the 2016 draft, college quarterback prospects. So if there's anyone that you guys want to add and want to discuss, I'd be happy to do it. If you guys think that I kind of messed up and you want to say, hey, you should have done this, or this guy sucks, or that quarterback doesn't do this, anything you want to know, anything you want to say, put it in the comments below. And if you like what you just saw and you want to see more, click right here to see more. Pow!